Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our July webinar from Montana Digital Academy. This is our school year 25-26 roundup. My name is Jason Neiffer, and I am the Executive Director of Montana Digital Academy, and really pleased to connect with you for a short amount of time today to explain some of the many services available to schools and students through Montana Digital Academy programs. Before we get started, we will be going across all four of our program departments today. These are purposefully designed to be quick hits so that you can get an overall sense of the types of programming we have available to you. And our team could not be more thrilled to connect with you directly to talk more about anything we can do to help support digital learning, distance learning, and innovative learning across schools in the state of Montana. So we're going to get right to the content of our webinar today. And it's my pleasure to introduce the Distance Learning Program Director, Robin Nuttall, who will talk a little bit about our longstanding distance learning program. Robin?
Thank you, Jason. So as Jason indicated, distance learning has been around for quite a while. This portion of our program is the piece that offers courses to schools along with a certified Montana teacher. And so in our distance learning team, we support with a variety of programs. Essentially, there are 4 programs inside distance learning. One is original credit. Original credit courses are semester long. They are a very traditional option where students work kind of within the same week together. We have a great deal of opportunities in original credit. And then we also, I'm going to talk a little bit about dual credit, individual pathways, and flexible pathways as well. So some of those courses that we have in original credit are just the basic graduation requirements, anything that a high school student would need to graduate from a high school in the state. We also have a great deal of middle school offerings to help with accreditation, so anything that you need there. And we have some electives. So you'll see on this page here, we kind of highlighted some of our more interesting electives that we're offering. So if you have students in your school that aren't able to take courses like Spanish or culinary arts, they're able to take those courses virtually with us. We also offer a whole lot of AP courses. Those AP courses, we have AP Bio, AP Government, et cetera. And so if you don't have an advanced placement teacher in your building, you're able to have the students take those courses with us. We aren't able, however, to offer the test proctoring. We just offer the class, and then students still have to take that test locally at the end of the year. One of the other programs that we have is dual credit. So students can take a online course with us for credit both as a high school student and at one of the colleges across the state. So you'll see there we have a couple courses we offer through University of Montana and a couple from Helena. We also offer courses through several other organizations such as Gallatin and University of Montana Western. Students who take dual credit can participate in the 1-2 free program, which means that they're allowed to take 2 classes for dual credit for free, which helps them when they begin their college career of already having 2 classes under their belt. The other program that I'm going to talk a little bit about is FlexCap. So our FlexCap courses, they are designed to be a proficiency-based course. You might remember them from years ago when we offered credit recovery courses. So our FlexCap courses are built from the credit recovery model, but they're built to encompass any student who needs a more flexible path. So an advanced student who wants to move through courses a little bit quicker could also take these courses. They're 11 weeks long. Students can enter and end whenever best suits them. So if you have a student that needs to start in the beginning of October in a course, this is a good opportunity. These courses are designed to be proctored at a local building. So they aren't courses that can be done from home. If a course is needed from home, then we would recommend looking at one of the other programs. The final program that I want to talk about that I don't have a slide for is IPC courses. So our IPC courses are our newest offering. Those courses are really designed for specific students that don't fit the other models. So if you have a student who has a health concern and they may have days where they can work and days where they can't, or an elite athlete who maybe can work for 2 weeks, but then needs to take 2 weeks off, then the IPC courses might be a better option for them. Our courses right now, the cost sharing for original credit courses is $128 for enrollments. And then for FlexCap courses, it's $64 for a quarter. IPCs are a little bit more expensive because in our IPC model, we expect teachers to meet with the student once a week and really offer some individualized support. That was as much information as I can fit into 3 minutes. So I'm going to hand it over to Lisa Bechtold, who's going to talk a little bit about MTDA Clearinghouse.
Thank you, Robin, and thanks everyone for joining us. As Robin mentioned, I'm Lisa Bechtold, and I'm the Clearinghouse Program Director. And the Clearinghouse, up until recently, was the newest department at MTDA. And that department has 3 people in it that you can see here, myself, my ambassador, Marcella Flanagan, and Allie Riggs. And on the next slide, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Clearinghouse. And we were established in 2023, and we have 4 main areas that we're looking to provide schools. And we differ from Robin's program in that our services are designed for the face-to-face teacher in the classroom to either supplement what they're doing or provide resources in a way that they may not be able to in the school setup they currently have. And so those 4 areas include digital content and platforms, or DCP, and that's our full year or semester-based curriculum that a teacher can use in the face-to-face classroom in a blended learning model. And they can customize that, and it's very flexible, and they can cater it to the different types of needs they might see in their classroom. The other area is the digital learning resources, and that's a wide range of targeted content that deals with anything from CTE to nicotine prevention or different types of enrichment courses and partnerships. We also have third-party services that are just starting out, and those are services that actually offer a teacher online, but they do not, or excuse me, they're more courses that our core MTDA program doesn't offer. And so you would find those as something supplemental that you wouldn't typically find at MTDA. And then the competency-based testing area of the Clearinghouse is just getting started. And that's where there's going to be performance assessments and mastery-based project work for students to demonstrate their competency in certain subjects. But today, what I want to quickly talk about is a couple of the ideas that you could look at this fall that are available to your teachers and allow them to have a very flexible way of working with online curriculum with the support and training they might need to be successful. And the first one are developed in-house. They're MTDA learning modules. They're designed by either our Montana partnerships or Montana teachers. They're self-paced and short, 4 to 6 hours. And an example of that is our partnership here in Montana with Dick Anderson Construction, where we have a core pre-apprentice course that allows students to work with Dick Anderson content. And when they finish, they are paired with Dick Anderson wherever they are in Montana, and they can start different types of programs that Dick Anderson has available, and they help get a placement in an area of construction that students are interested in. Our next one is our vendor learning modules. Again, those are shorter with a variety of lengths, self-paced courses, but those are offered by our third-party vendors, and they can be anything from culinary business simulation by our active learning labs to Python programming by AZ, or even a lot of different medical areas of interest from Blend Ed Learning. And then finally, it's that digital content and platform area. And this is that full online curriculum, either semester or full year in our Canvas LMS that teachers are provided. And what's great about that is if you're familiar with our core program here at MTDA, this curriculum is the same curriculum that our core program uses, but instead you use your face-to-face teacher to deliver the content, and you have the ability to work in a blended format with that face-to-face teacher. You also get the support from our ambassador, and the teacher controls the content and the calendar, and it just provides a lot more flexibility for different types of learning situations. And finally, before I hand it off, some things to think about when you're looking at using the clearinghouse. The clearinghouse is part of MTDA, and so it allows you to expand services into one system, and it makes the billing and services very simple for students and school districts. It's a different way of supporting learning that MTDA provides. It supports any of the local learning initiatives you have, and we can help you innovate and look at things from that direction. And then you also get access to additional staff. You have our team to help you with local implementation support and some of the decision making that you need. So if you'd like to reach out or schedule more contact with the clearinghouse team, it's simple at support@mtda.org. Next, we're going to be looking at Ed Ready, and I'm going to hand it off to Ryan Schrank.
Thanks. I'm Ryan, and I'm the Ed Ready Montana Program Director. Be talking about our programs today. And the key question that we ask when we're helping teachers and programs get ready is, what do you want your students to be ready for? And if the answer falls into middle school, upper elementary to adult ed math, or high school to higher ed English, we can help you. So go through some of the things that we are doing. And a reminder that the Ed Ready program remains no cost to Montana schools because we're fortunate enough to be backed up and funded by the Washington Foundation for the last 12 years. And we make that program free of charge to you in Montana. We do charge for that outside of the state, and we've been doing that for the last year as well. What we can be there to help you with at the high school level are these key transition points of getting students from pre-algebra to algebra, screening students that come into your district or your school, helping you figure out whether they're ready for high school level math or what level they're ready for, getting those students then ready on the other end for high school to college transition, or going from high school into a trade program, or just in general, working with your staff and your teachers to work with math using technology and working with them to provide a proficiency-based look at what students are struggling with, help focus instruction, or guide those students toward what their weaknesses might be. Go ahead and move to the next one. And then for middle school transitions, what we hear over and over again is we want more students to be in our advanced math track. We have students who are on the borderline. We want to work with them to be ready for that advanced math in middle school, or we want them to be ready for that high school level math. And we want to make sure that we're focused on what those students have the most difficulty with. And so we work with schools and help you screen those students to see whether they're ready. And sometimes it's just a skills assessment where we will help you retest. And other times it could be a supplemental look at adding to your instructional time. The way the program works it still remains the same. We have a needs assessment up front over the content that you want those students to be ready for. It provides an initial diagnostic and a readiness score. And then we provide the online resources that can be delivered to help supplement that instruction. And that goes along with any offline materials or additional teaching and learning that you might be doing in your classroom. And then we provide that incremental improvement process to help students retest or test on the content as they go. And then we back that up with detailed reports that we work with teachers and administrators to utilize with the program. So it's a simple program, but it serves a wide variety of needs from those middle school tests, whether it's mass testing up through ACT testing or any of those other uses that we were talking about. And the advantage with the no cost is we are also fortunate enough to provide our team to help you integrate that program into the teaching and learning model. There's the rest of our team. We have our ambassadors that work on the ground with teachers and Jason, who helps us with all of the technical setup of the program as well. And what we're here to help you do is create a good plan around using the program in the way that fits best with your needs. And so creating a shared vision and helping you with implementation planning and getting it down to the students and teachers that they're in the right way and providing you a great model to build on. So we want to be there, help you, help your students, and figure out what we can help you be ready for. And again, we're supported by the Washington Foundation. Last year, we served around 22,000 engagements, 3,000 of those in English readiness, and about another 19,000 in math readiness at those upper elementary through college levels. We look forward to working with you. And I believe I'm passing this off to Jason.
Yes, great. Thanks so much, Ryan. And the last thing we want to talk about today is something we're really excited about. It represents a significant expansion of MTDA scope and services. Actually, I should say a long expansion of MTDA scope and services as we've added EdReady and the Clearinghouse to our existing distance learning program. But it's my real pleasure today to introduce the Frontier Learning Lab, which is a very exciting project that we hope to build some wonderful capacity across Montana's K-12 schools. The Frontier Learning Lab is really all about edge technologies. Think about virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and how do you embrace these technologies while being very thoughtful about both the learning environment and the risks that come with the fast-moving and fast-paced world of artificial intelligence. And there are four key components to the Frontier Learning Lab. We are going to be releasing our press release today announcing the lab, and our services are starting to ramp up as we get both capacity staff-wise and also our systems worked out. But the first thing is an AI help desk, and AI is something that a lot of teachers are interested in, but don't necessarily have the support available in their local school in order to ask questions or to ask what someone might even call a dumb question. There are no dumb questions in AI because it's such an extraordinary and fast-moving piece, but you can email AI help or ai.help at montanadigitalacademy.org and get access to either an expert that can answer your question straight away or a network of individuals that can research and then provide answers that we will then make available to others so that we can help build capacity across all of our educators across the state together. The second part of the Frontier Learning Lab is increased access to immersive technology. And we've received some resources from the legislature to put together things like AR headsets to share amongst particularly medium and small size schools across the state. And we want to start working on how do we utilize technologies, many which times are funded by grant funding, but then don't end up surviving the grant funding time. How can we put together a sustainable library of software and services so that when a district invests in great technology like virtual reality headsets or augmented reality tools, how can we make sure that those get used at their fullest throughout the lifespan of those particular tools? We will also reach out and have already started working with local schools on pilots around innovation with these technologies. And we're not just here to offer workshops and one-time only professional learning. We will be using a variety of professional learning strategies, everything from stackable learning via credentialing systems that we're developing right now to give acknowledgement for the hard work teachers do to learn about edge technologies. We will be conducting pop-up labs across the state. Over the next 2 years, we hope to have at least a dozen opportunities for teachers to come to a central location in their region and talk to experts and one another about VR and AI and all these evolving technologies in order to build capacity across the state. And we're going to engage in as much just-in-time micro-learning as we can, including offering small bite-sized classes for teachers, administrators, paraprofessionals, anyone in the education space. And as we are starting to negotiate with schools across the state We also want to work together with teachers to create AI training for students. Whether you like AI or not, it is absolutely a key part of the strategies that will be part of the workplace in the near future. And we want to absolutely acknowledge its importance and help students guide their own future personal and professional needs and desires with AI technologies available. You can find out more at our Learning Lab page, which is montanadigitalacademy.org/FLL, and you'll find some descriptions there. But I do want to note that there are services available right now for you. And if you email us at aihelp@montanadigitalacademy.org. There are two things we can help you with right now. The first one is that if you're interested in bringing a face-to-face or a virtual trainer into your district, our August is getting pretty darn packed, but start now to help us figure out where we can get experts to help connect with you and your staff across the state on these technologies. And second, any teacher, any educator in the state, any administrator in the state, any paraprofessional in the state, anyone associated with education in the state is able to email our help desk. Again, we can't promise a perfect answer 30 seconds after we receive the email, but our staff is going to work hard to build capacity so that if we don't know the answer to those questions, we will engage in those asking them, both to find the right answers or help you continue to ask the right questions, and more importantly, share that work with others. We hope to make a big difference in the embracing of future technologies, being thoughtful and careful about our values and learning science altogether to make sure that we weather these technology storm the best we can. I would also note that we have an aggressive schedule of lunch and learns coming up throughout the fall. Starting on August 18th, we will have a Frontier Learning Lab lunch and learn available at noon. Tuesday the 19th, the MTDA Clearinghouse will host a lunch and learn. Wednesday, August 20th at Ready, Montana, will host a lunch and learn. And Thursday, August 21st, we'll also host a lunch and learn. We will have places to sign up so you can get reminded of all these exciting and extraordinary opportunities to learn from all of the experts at Montana Digital Academy that are here to assist you knock it out of the park with digital learning concepts. So the question for you is, how can we help you really evolve with digital learning across the state of Montana, no matter what education context is? And the best place to start, contact our support desk, support@montanadigitalacademy.org. We will keep a close eye on the help desk all hours of the day, but particularly Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 p.m. And we would love to connect you with a member of our staff that can work with you in order to evolve your local school strategy on knocking digital learning out of the park. We so appreciate your time today. My sincere thanks to all of our wonderful team members for speaking today and talking a little bit about their programs. And also my thanks to Kristen Cole, our communications manager, for running the webinar today. We will pause now to see if there's any questions in chat. And then, of course, we will be posting this webinar to our YouTube channel so that you can review it later if you like. Again, thanks so much for your time, and we'll now pause to see if there are any questions.